On today's child seat review, we are out here taking a look at the 2016 Nissan Maxima. As usual, this is a Graco Classic Ride 50 child seat. It is a convertible seat suitable for forward or rearward facing installation and children between 4 and 50 pounds. The important thing to know about the Maxima is that although this is called a full-size sedan, it is not as full-sized as some of the sedans out there. This is only about an inch larger than the Nissan Altima. That means that although we do find a little bit more room on the inside than the smaller Nissan, we find an awful lot less room on the inside than something like a Buick LaCrosse or a Chevy Impala, which are about 5 to 10 inches larger than this. As usual, let's start in the front seat. I'm going to go ahead and move this until I have about an inch of legroom between my knees and the dashboard itself. That's going to help maximize the space in the rear. Being one of the smallest entries in this category, we find a little bit more room back here than you'll find in the Nissan Altima, but an awful lot less than you'll find in something like that Buick LaCrosse, the Chevy Impala, the Ford Taurus, etc. You can judge the relative ability of a vehicle to put a tall person up front and a rearward-facing child seat by looking at the combined legroom figures. And the combined legroom figures in this Maxima are a few inches below the competition. When it comes to the 3-across child seat test, things are a little bit tighter back here than the larger sedans in this category yet again. It is only a small step above the Nissan Altima in terms of overall capacity. Now, these child seats are touching the armrests on the doors, but there is enough room for the airbags to deploy on the side, it seems. You do want to make sure there's a reasonable amount of space between the child seats and the doors, because in the event of a side impact collision, the side curtain airbags need somewhere to go, and you don't want them to go into the child seat. You want them to go between the child seat and the door. When it comes to anchors, we have 2 sets of latch anchors for the outboard seating positions and 3 top tether anchors for all 3 seating positions. One nice touch here is that the outboard headrests are removable from the vehicle, as is this center headrest. That means that you don't have to worry about the top tether leaving marks, because you do want it to be very firm when you install a child seat. When a child seat is properly installed, there should be very little movement when you grab the child seat and you tug it forcibly forward. It should really only move about half an inch or so. You may need to actually put your knee into it and really push the child seat into the car while you're tightening the straps in order to make sure it is as tight as possible. The Maxima falls between your average mid-size sedan and your average full-size sedan in a variety of different ways, and the cargo area is also one of those ways. Now, this cargo area has a better shape to it than many full-size sedans, but it is still a little bit smaller. That means that you can put a 24-inch roller bag in this position, as I had it, and still close the trunk lid, and you can actually stack a few of them across the back. You can't do that in very many sedans out there, even full-size sedans. However, when you take this bag out, you will still notice that this trunk is a decent amount smaller than some of those larger entries like the Ford Taurus. The Ford Taurus's trunk is almost 30% larger than what we find in the Maxima. That means that even though the Maxima's trunk has a better and squarer shape, which is more advantageous for child seats and roller bags like this alike, it is still going to be a little bit less convenient and less practical than that Taurus. Thanks for taking the time to check out this video. Again, I'm Alex Dykes, and this has been the 2016 Nissan Maxima. Be sure and check out the full review on my channel coming up in the next day or so. I'll see you next week.